this is Chrissie B with BeautifulCreatives.com. Today is Art Journal Thursday, February 5th, 2015. For this week's spread, I decided I was going to do a petroleum jelly resist, which gives you a peeled paint effect, which I fell in love with this week. And so to do that, I started by painting both of my pages of my spread with black gesso and letting that dry completely. And then I took my petroleum jelly and I smeared it all over my page in different areas, leaving some of the gesso uncovered and part of it covered. After I did that, I chose an acrylic paint color, and I'm covering my entire spread with that color. And what will happen is, if I let the acrylic dry on top of the gessoed page with the Vaseline on it, it will cause the Vaseline, since it is made with, it's an oil-based product and the acrylic paint is a water-based product, they won't mix. They're going to want to fight each other. So the acrylic paint won't actually dry to the gesso. And I'll be able to wipe it off, and you'll see me do that here in just a few minutes after I get this spread completely covered in the yellow acrylic paint here. I'm using a heat tool. I really want to make sure that this is completely dry. Drying this is a couple-step process, and it is quite time-consuming. So once I'm sure that it's dry, I take copious amounts of paper towels. You will need so many paper towels for this particular project because I'm doing 6 different layers, including the black gesso. So at this point, all you need to do is keep using fresh paper towels, clean paper towels, and just keep rubbing until the paint is peeled in the manner that you want, and all of the Vaseline, or at least as much of the Vaseline, is off of the page as possible. It kind of is a little bit tricky. I found that if I heated the page to dry the acrylic paint, then used paper towel to wipe, and then use the heat tool one more time and then wipe it again, I found that if there was any extra Vaseline on the page, it kind of helped me find it and get it wiped off. So what you're seeing me doing now is basically I'm going to keep repeating this process for as many colors and layers as I want. And you just lay the Vaseline down wherever you want the next layer of paint to not adhere to the page, and then completely cover that layer with another coat of acrylic. Once that's done, again, dry it really well and just keep rubbing with paper towel, just cleaning as much of the Vaseline off as you can. What will happen is the paint will actually peel up. It kind of picks up a little bit, and it actually balls up kind of like eraser shavings. It kind of reminds me of eraser shavings. So be aware, this will make a little bit of a mess on your art desk, which is fine. It's very easy to clean up, but it's quite messy, and you do need a lot of paper towels to do this. That you will find that there's going to be a trick to how much Vaseline to put down. If you put a lot of Vaseline down, you're going to be rubbing for days. Not quite literally, but it might feel like days. If you put not enough Vaseline down, which is what happened under my green layer, I didn't put enough Vaseline down, and I really had to scrub really hard to get the paint to peel the way that I wanted it to. Another thing to make note on this particular spread is that I'm using a Strathmore journal, and it's a really high quality, sturdy paper. I would be concerned if you did this on a thinner paper. I think that your paper would just fall apart. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. I'm thinking that for the future reference for myself is I'm going to do this specific technique probably on canvas or wood or something a little sturdier than paper. But this page to me turned out beautifully. I absolutely love it. And like I said, I did use 5 different colors on top of my black gesso, so it was 6 layers in total. So instead of rambling on through this whole video, I'm going to let you just kind of watch as I'm doing this. I think I have 2 more layers to do, so enjoy, and I'll be back. this point I really love this page, and I'm almost hesitant to do this, but I decided I wanted to kind of tone it down just a little bit because the page is really bright at this point. So I decided to do one last layer of white, adding white acrylic paint over the top, just like I've been doing up to this point with the Vaseline. And I just really want to tone it down. Something else I didn't say prior, but I'd like for you to know this, especially if you try this on your own. When you want to you're rubbing it off and you're kind of letting it do its own thing. If you use a fingernail gently, you can scrape all the way down to your original layer of black. So if you feel like you're missing a color, you can actually scrape down, and that's when you see it transition just now and you see so many different colors. That's what I did. I just made it a point to really kind of just pick and choose what layers I was letting show through. So what I'm doing here is I want to kind of antique the whole thing, kind of grunge it up, make it a little bit dirty, make it look like it might be a really old wooden sign or something. So I just took some brown acrylic paint and really watered it down, did a color wash over the whole page, and then I'm just using 2 paper towels to wipe it off. One to wipe it off dry, one paper towel has a little bit of water on it so that I can really kind of clean some spaces up a little bit. So I kind of have variations of really, really clean spots and really kind of grungy spots, and just kind of a good assortment. And I'm going to do the same thing, I'm going to do the same thing to the right hand side as well. Another thing to know while you're doing this, what I did not know, one of the things I do when I'm art journaling is I'm usually experimenting right on the spot. I probably shouldn't experiment right on film, but I can't help it. It's just my nature. So I was pleasantly surprised to find out that because of all the Vaseline that you're using, the petroleum jelly that you're using, the page actually ends up feeling like an oilcloth. So it's kind of cool. It almost takes a thick fabric, plasticky almost kind of feeling, but it's really kind of cool. It changes the texture of the paper. So I really truly just love this page. I'm so in love with it. So I wanted to keep the sentiment very simple and kind of down the lower right hand corner, just make it very simple and make the colors and the page and the peeling paint really the emphasis of this page. So how I did the sentiment this week is I have some old business cards that were headed to the recycle bin and decided, business cards are usually on really nice quality cardstock, and I didn't want to let those go to waste. So I took a few of those cards and I just stamped my sentiment on it using rubber stamps, and I'll have those specific stamps listed over on beautifulcreatives.com, as well as all the other supplies I'm using today. And after stamping my sentiment out, I cut it out and adhered it down to my page. And again, I kind of kept it down in the lower right hand corner of my page because I really wanted the colors and the paint itself to be the focal point. I was also having some difficulty doodling with anything, so I had a wax crayon and used that. That seemed to work really well. Again, oil base on oil base. Don't forget your date stamp. That's all I've got for you today. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. This is probably my absolute favorite page in my entire journal. I am so thrilled with this page. I cannot wait to do this again. I have some tables downstairs. I have a feeling they're going to get this technique, and if I do that, I will post pictures of that up on my blog on beautifulcreatives.com to keep you posted of how that turns out. I love this. I'd love to hear your comments in the section down below. Let me know what you think. Do you love it as much as I do? Are you going to give it a try? I would really love to see you try this. So simple. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.